Oh my f***ing god. It doesn't have a slow speed. Oh, I'm getting a nibble. Oh my f***ing god.
So the other day I picked up this fishing reel from Walmart. My plan was to add some sort of motor to it, but before I could do that I had to take off the line that came with the reel. They put like 300 yards on there. It turns out that taking fishing line off a reel like it's a lawnmower is pretty damn slow.
I got an idea. Nice.
Next, I started to mess around with the internals of the reel. I found a drill bit that matched the shaft of the reel. The next step was to do 2 days worth of work in 10 seconds. At this point, the speed of the reel was pretty goddamn slow, so I took that opportunity to re-add the line back onto the reel. In hindsight, maybe I should have just left the original line on it. Regardless, it was time to test the torque of this setup. I wanted to see how big a fish I could potentially reel in, so to simulate a fishing scenario, I attached a bucket to the end of the line.
At the end of the fishing rod, we have a bucket.
Unfortunately, this setup failed the hyper-realistic fishing simulation. Luckily, I had a plan B.
Don't worry, I have a bigger motor.
I had bought this motor like 6 months ago and was saving it for a special occasion just like this.
And it matches the color. This is gonna work great.
Normally with a motor like this, you're supposed to use an electronic speed controller, but the only speed controllers I had were made for that motor from earlier. And I'm also poor and impatient, so I didn't want to order them. So I decided to just try and make it work.
Oh god. Here we go.
Because I was using the weaker electronic speed controller, the starting torque was very weak. So to try and fix this, I added a 3-to-1 gear ratio.
What is this turning into?
And that seemed to do the trick. It actually looked like a pretty good retrieval speed as well.
Time for a torque test. We're maxed out. Max torque of this system. Why was that smaller motor just way better?
It's obviously because you're using the wrong electronic speed controller. Dumbass.
What would happen if I literally just did this?
Oh my fucking god.
I had finally fully realized the limitations of the speed controller, but I was still determined to bootstrap this thing. So I added a MOSFET and a PC cooling fan to cool off the MOSFET.
Hopefully it does not catch fire.
After fixing the torque issue, I added a switch so you could adjust the speed. Just so when you get a really big fish, you can turn it up all the way. Or even if you caught a really small fish, you could turn it up all the way. Now it was time for the aesthetics. I made this fanny pack to hold all the electronics and the battery. I took everything that was on the breadboard and soldered it permanently onto this circuit board.
Plug it in. Turn it on. Oh yeah, and the PC fan works.
Now you might be wondering, where is the 30,000 RPM motor? We'll get to that. At this point, we're still using the smaller motor. This is version 1.0. Anyway, all I had left to do was to add the line back on for the third time and check the weather just to make sure we had thunderstorms. Fishing in a thunderstorm is the best.
Should be good. Time to hook up the boat.
Yo, really quick, while we're driving to the lake, let me explain something. I've been trying to come up with some channel merch for a while now. I've been getting really good at making these metal posters, and you can literally put whatever design you want on them. I have it set up on my website so you can upload any image, and I also have a bunch of images up on there in case you need some more inspiration. But yeah, check out my website because I put a lot of work into these and they're freaking awesome. Also, they're made out of metal, so they're really high quality and they will last you a long time. Like extremely durable, and I put a special covering over the top so they don't scratch. Like you can just abuse these things if you want to and they'll just be fine. But yeah, check those out. Anyway, let's get back to the video. As soon as I got there, I switched the reel to maximum speed. I was trying to see how quickly I could reel in my lure.
Oh.
My homemade speed controller instantly failed.
Yeah, it's totally shot. I totally broke it. You know, in hindsight, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to just make a DIY speed controller. I could have just bought one.
No shit.
That would have probably been a lot easier and a lot smarter. Oh well.
Yeah, so at that point I was just in need of a speed controller. Luckily I had this RC boat lying around that goes literally 60 miles an hour on the water. It had a nice old speed controller and motor in there. Because the system was already functional and the motor mount that I made earlier somehow matched this motor, the only thing I had left to do was 3D print something to hold it all together.
Oh, fuck. Check it out, guys. I did the stuff and I made the thing. The thing is made.
I did actually replace the water cooling system with a air-cooled system and a few other things.
Oh my fucking god. It doesn't have a slow speed. I might have to reel it in by pulsing it. Alright, to test the torque, I tied the line to a hammer.
What a genius idea.
And then if I can reel in a fish this big, I think we're good. Oh shit. Instantly destroyed my gears.
Genius.
Instant failure. No gears. This time I'm not going to start with the hammer. Oh, I'm getting a nibble. Okay. This is getting f***ing dangerous. Alright, let's back up a little bit. This is the lowest power setting, by the way. This is the lowest power setting, so I could turn the power setting up.
Famous last words. This next part is very important because it kind of contributes to the narrative of the rest of the story.
So I went and put the spatula at the other end of the shop to simulate, you know, like getting a fish hooked at long distances. And also to see how much speed we can get going. I feel like I need to take cover with this one.
If you pay close attention, you can see the reel actually makes contact with the fuzzy microphone cover, which causes the reel to disintegrate.
I'm injured.
Because I didn't realize the microphone cover was sitting there, I thought the reel exploded because it was spinning too fast. So this caused me to stay away from the highest power setting because I obviously didn't want the reel to explode again. The next day I went to Walmart, bought the same reel, and put everything back together. And we hit the lake. After testing out the power settings of the reel, my only objective that I had left was to catch a big ass fish with this reel. And obviously down some brews one-handed. My batteries had enough power to last about 1 hour. I spent the next 30 minutes making casts and didn't get a bite. If I was going to catch a fish, it was going to happen soon, and I did not have much confidence on this lake. What happened next was extremely lucky. I didn't actually hook a fish. See, what happened was we met these guys over by our fishing spot, and they had actually caught a 10-pound catfish. And after I told them I was filming a YouTube video, they were like, could we put our fish on your line? And I was like, hell yeah, you could put your fish on my line. And it was just like a hilarious situation. And so I didn't actually hook a fish organically. But the main point of the video isn't about hooking things. It's about reeling them in. So just pretend that I just hooked this randomly, like organically. Out of nowhere, I hooked a massive fish.
Oh shit, no f***ing way. Oh, that's not good.
The fish weighed enough that it was shredding my gears. Thankfully, the reel was staying somewhat functional, but I wasn't sure which one was going to break first, the fish or my reel.
Oh my. Get the net. It's a big catfish.
If you take a closer look, you can literally see pieces of the gears flying off the reel.
My gears are like literally disintegrating right now. It's literally pulling the boat. Oh, let's go. On the E-reel. Let's go. Oh my f***ing God.
So it took about 15
Oh
minutes,
my
but
God.
the electronic reel actually survived and we got it in.
26 inches. That's a massive fish. I can't believe we caught it on the electronic reel.
Yeah, so this catfish was probably about 8 to 10 pounds and it was just a lot of fun.